Jordan Moore, John Jackson, and we are live at the lab here in Los Angeles. But on the phone, we've got an 11-year NFL pro. Can't believe it's been that long since Frostee Rucker
11
was
years?
11 years since Frostee Rucker was at USC. I know he's driving around now. Frostee, hey, why don't you start by telling us what happened last night? Everyone's talking about your game. That was a weird night.
What a mistake. What a crazy game. Getting to play versus Coach Carroll one more time, giving a throwback from college. And the atmosphere was rocking. And we tied. Two great ball clubs going at it. That's just how it is in our division. And that's especially how it is when we match up versus them.
Frostee, JJ, 11 years in the league. I mean, you were a great player when you were here at USC, but when you left, did you ever think we'd be saying that you put 11 years in the league?
No. And JJ, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing good, buddy.
Hear from you. Good to hear from you. Well, when you go to the league, just like yourself, everyone always says, "Well, I'd like to get 10 years in," and the average fan's always 3 years, and that's all you've been hearing since the time you ever thought about the NFL. But I've been blessed. I couldn't imagine making it 11 years, and really, really, really working and playing hard, and still doing what I love. And it's like I said, it's been a blessing to be able to go out there on the field and still go at it with the boys.
What do you think the key is? Because we always talk about the NFL is all about opportunity and just ending up in right spots and finding a good fit. What do you think is the key that's made it work for you for so long?
Well, I think having the foundation I had coming from USC helped a lot. Being in a pro-style college environment, meaning the way we practiced, the way we worked, the games we won, the lessons learned. That helped me out, and I would credit a lot to changing the way you eat and take care of yourself. But when you're in college, you have no idea what a massage therapist is and how to eat right. Now you got all these tools that you can have with organic food and gluten-free things, and you got to really take advantage to have longevity in it.
Our nutritionist will be very happy about that answer. We'll be sure to play this back. She'll make sure it's part of her reel.
Frostee, obviously.
I stand by it.
Yeah, no. You obviously had a great career here at USC, but now when you sort of compare yourself, and it's relative because you get better the more you're in the league. But how much better of a player are you now than maybe even when you left USC in terms of in terms of your peers or your competition?
Well, you just mature into roles. When I started my career off being drafted in Cincinnati, heck, that was 8 years ago, I think it was. I was an outside rusher, so everything changed when I got to Arizona and I moved inside. And it's been for the better because I matured. I learned how to study. I learned how to be a pro. There's so many facets of the game that you really have to pay attention to. And, once you educate yourself on why you're doing certain things, it allows you to play freely and use your athletic ability. If you're coachable, that helps also. A lot of guys think they know it all. I've never been the type of guy like that. I'd like to get my direction from my coach, because I know he's done his homework and there's a trust factor in that. And I take it from there. And, we work at it. We practice so much against each other and, in the film room and just getting better. If you can mature and get the years under your belt in this league, you can have a pretty good career just off that.
I wanted to ask you about a couple of your former USC teammates. First of all, what do you think of Kanechi Udeze taking over as the defensive line coach? Did you imagine that back in the day?
If anyone could do it, it would be him. His roots and ties to the school, obviously being an All-American and first-round pick and coming from right there out of L.A., it had his name written all over it. He's so passionate about football and D-line play that I felt like that'd be an easy fit, and those guys are going to gel with him the years to come, and they're starting to play a lot better, and that's good.
And you know, Sean Cody's really not doing well, Frostee. He's stuck working with us week in and week out. You tell us what Sean was like back in the day so we can use it against him when we get him on the air on Thursday night.
Oh, that rascal, that big rascal there. Sean is, he has a big heart, man. He really cares. One of the best teammates I've ever had. His tenacity on the football field. He just used to make plays, and he's just such a good friend, man. So I don't have anything bad to say about him, but how his hair was his freshman year, that afro he had.
Frostee, you played for some dynamic coaches, of course, here at SC and, with Pete and, now you're with Bruce Arians. Talk about the personalities of some of the head coaches that you surrounded yourself with for your career and how much has that affected you?
I mean, I've been lucky to play with guys that or play for guys that really love the game and don't have a problem educating you about it. I've been blessed, obviously, to play this long to understand them as people, not just coaches, and, from Pete to Marvin to Pat Shermer to BA. I mean, they all got their own distinct personalities and the way they go about their stuff. And, if you know me, I'm such a diverse person. It's like a little piece of me is like every one of them. So, it's easy to work for guys that have the same passion and drive for you, and you want to work very hard for them to produce for them.
Well, we appreciate you checking in with us, Frostee. Always good to hear from you. Everyone needs to follow The Organic Frost. Are you even on Instagram, JJ?
I will be after this.
Okay, you should follow The Organic Frosty.
Because I'm looking at him.
He's not kidding about the food. It's
Yeah.
right there in his Instagram handle. So that's the secret to an 11-year career and a great Trojan, too. He's always representing on social media, keeps a close eye on the team. And he and Carson are going to get things done there. They were close last year. We would love to see you guys take it all the way this season. So we thank Frostee Rucker for joining us. From a former player to two current players, the Texas tailbacks, Ronald Jones II and Aka Cedric Ware, are next on Trojans Live.